I've been meaning to give you some advice on your videos. So yeah, you film a lot of long form content, and you take a little too long to get into the like the one that you posted today. It was just your chair, and then you walked on the screen to then sit down, took a deep breath. Okay, so this video I'm going to show you 6 years ago.
Nah, bro, I had to pull up the exit.
The perfect fucking impression of this man.
But
the
literally,
perfect impression.
But literally, but the problem is that if you click on that more data button at the bottom of your screen when you're looking at your video, you will notice the amount of people who watch the full video and the amount of people and how long they stayed. So the thing is, if you have just a video of a chair when it opens, within 3 to 4 seconds, they're going to scroll because there's no subject, there's no hook. It's taking too long to start the video. And that's why you're not getting more views, because you're taking a little longer. Everything that you want to say, I have some advice for you. Write down the things you want to say and then download one of those teleprompter apps that has a teleprompter of everything you typed into it. Type in your script for your video, and it will literally go in front of your face as you're recording on your screen, and it won't be visible to anybody watching. This way you can say everything you want in a concise manner without it seeming like it's dragging or you're taking too long to get to a point, and it keeps people engaged. This will take you from a 6-minute video to a 1.5 minute to a 2-minute video. It'll drive up your engagement, drive up the length that they stay.
Toxic, mute yourself, you freaking animal.
But what am I doing? I'm chewing on ice.
That's
and
what
I can hear every crunch.
Yes.
Damn, dude.
But
we're hearing everything.
But literally, the best thing you can do for your content is, because you have very good topics to discuss, but you're taking too long to discuss those topics. So if you do something like write your video ideas and write them as a script for yourself, just write down what you want to say in the shortest, concise way possible. Make sure you hit all the points you want. But make sure that when you do that, download like a teleprompter app that plays over your screen as you're recording. It doesn't interfere with you trying to see yourself. It doesn't interfere with the person viewing you because they can't see the words. And this way, you can literally type everything that you wrote down into that and feed yourself your own video like lines. And this way, while you're staring, they can't even tell that you're reading because you're looking at the screen. So this will help you cut your videos down significantly, keep the viewers engaged. But I also been looking at your content lately to see what you have been doing wrong, because you got some really good conversations, but you got no viewers and no likes. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? This is a good conversation. And then I look at your more. You're not hashtagging anything. So if you're not hashtagging anything, your video is not getting put in front of your niche, your audience, and it's not getting put on the For You page either. Just the people who follow you are seeing it. So you got to start using your hashtags like we talked about. We'll go over it privately later, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of that advice because you got some really good ideas there, but you're taking too long to execute them. I think I can help you clean that up a little bit.
All right, and last time we had a lesson in pizza, and today's Mr. Blood's lesson on
content creating.
How to be a better TikToker.
Hey, that's what we're content creation is the goal, correct? So
that is correct. That is what all of this is.
Free tips. All right, we're about to get started, y'all. You guys ready?
Remember the rules, guys. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If Snug has to cut you off, you're done. You can get like 10 seconds to wrap up the thought, but 10 seconds no longer, so we can keep this going. And Snug doesn't got to be here for 3 hours and edit shit ton of shit. All right?
Yeah, Snug likes editing.
Shut up, Toxic. Mute yourself right now before I mute you for you. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back again to another episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar, and my crew is here with me, Mr. Blood, Toxic, Tommy, and BT Knight. And we're going to do WrestleMania predictions because it is WrestleMania week. We are 3 days away from WrestleMania, maybe 4 days if you count Saturday. And we want to talk about some of these matches. But we have some ground rules here because we have a shit ton of matches. And we have a pretty big panel. We're going to go down the list of all these matches, pick our favorite winners, our favorite people to win these matches. and under 2 minutes each, y'all. I'm going to give everyone 2 minutes to tell me who they think is going to win this match and why. And we're going to go down the list so far and as far as we can go. And yeah, so that's what we got planned for you guys today. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
WrestleMania 3
Great
days away, bro.
Shout out to Fear God 1257 who says, who you got for the men's triple threat match? Perfect timing, because that's actually where we're going to start off for the first match of the Saturday WrestleMania Night One, the triple threat match between Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Mr. Blood, who do you got and why?
Originally, I had CM Punk for the feel-good moment, but now after everything we've seen, I'm changing it to Rollins. I think he's the most interesting person to win. When I really think about it, he's the most interesting person in the outcome of the win. CM Punk will just get the feel-good moment. Woohoo, I did it, big bang. Roman Reigns will be like, hey, I won another one at WrestleMania, you know? But Rollins winning for the sheer purpose of, I think that they lose because Heyman fulfills his favor by walking down to the ring with Punk, gets down to the ring, the match goes on. I think at one point he turns on Punk and yanks him out of the ring, or yanks the ref out of the arena, out of the ring. And then Roman thinks he's siding with him, but then I think he screws Roman too. And I think we get one more chair shot in the back, Shield style. And I think Rollins goes over, turning heel, siding with Heyman against Punk and Reigns. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. That is my prediction.
All right, Toxic, what about you?
I'm with Blood. I got Rollins for every single reason that he said. And plus that Rollins hasn't had a WrestleMania win in a while. He was actually on both nights of the card last year, did not win either. And he hasn't won a WrestleMania since 39, which I feel like he deserves another win.
Tommy, you're up.
I'm with them both. Burn it down all the way. I feel like at this point, he is going to go down with him everything else. But Punk's main thing is he just wants to main event. He doesn't care if he wins or not. He really just wants to be in the main event for the first time in the entirety of his WWE career. That's pretty much it. It's going to end up being Rollins, probably with Paul Heyman's help.
Mr. BT.
Personally, I don't give a fuck who wins this because it's going to be an amazing match either way. I don't want the outcome of this match to ruin what is going to be an amazing main event to WrestleMania. Just let the story play out. But personally, I want CM Punk to win. Cult of personality, baby. It's clobbering time!
So far, we got 3 people falling behind Seth Rollins. One that really doesn't care but wants CM Punk to win. Special thanks to Fear of God. Thank you for the follow. Shout out to Elite Gamer Joey. Thank you for your comment. Good to have you with us here. Unlike everyone, I guess, do you guys forget what happened on Monday Night Raw? It looked like Paul Heyman was distracting CM Punk, letting Roman Reigns set up for the spear. It kind of looked like Paul Heyman might turn on CM Punk and stay with Roman Reigns, but this has been one of my favorite builds for these matches, because at first I'm like, CM Punk got the favor in. CM Punk's first WrestleMania main event, he has to win. And then a few days later, now Seth Rollins has a favor. Now Seth Rollins has the advantage. He might win. And then last Monday Night Raw, now it looks like Roman Reigns might have the upper hand. But I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins is going to get the pin. I mean, he's going to get pinned. Roman is going to pin Seth. And this is going to start the feud, an even stronger feud between Roman and CM Punk. So that's who I got, y'all. Any final thoughts? Anything else you guys want to add before we move on to the next match?
Yeah, I think Roman being a winner possibility also makes sense because you can still have another feud between Reigns and Rollins. I don't think people will ever honestly get tired of them feuding. I know I wouldn't because they had that fight forever vibe, like Sammy and Kevin do. But I will say that on Monday, like that thing with Paul, you could honestly, the thing that's so great about that segment is you can take that either way, right? You can take that as Heyman seemed to distract CM Punk from Roman. Heyman also seemed to distract Roman from Rollins. And CM Punk seemed to be distracted by his personal aid in helping Heyman. And it could be because now we're at a point where Heyman could side with any of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was what was so great about the execution of that segment. But I just wanted to put that out there that it was masterfully done because of the fact that this is really a Paul Heyman on a pole match, and any one of these guys winning is gold, but it's the how. And I think Heyman is the how, and he's the MacGuffin. So yeah, this will be great.
All right, moving on quickly here to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Toxic, you first this time for this match. Who do you got?
Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
All right.
Here we go.
Sorry, I had to put them on real quick.
Here we go.
I got Jey. It's pretty simple. Gunther's reign sucked. It has since he beat Randy. I don't care what anyone says. It's the truth. Jey also needs this win because if he does not, Jey's character is ruined. There is nowhere left for him to turn to. He could go to the Intercontinental Championship again. No, he doesn't. It was a good reign, even though it lasted 28 days. He does not. He needs a world title opportunity. No, not an opportunity. He needs the world title.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Maria says, yeet. No, yeet, Maria. Don't be coming over here with that. Shout out to Jamie O'Neill. Says Jey is great. So we got a lot of people rooting for Jey. Tommy, who you got?
You know the phrase already. 4 letters. 1 word.
Oh, here we go with this bullshit.
It's very clear. It's going to be Jey. And this is just what happened here. Gunther fucked around, and now he's going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
He fucked around with the family, and now he's going to get smashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, pause, resume, but still. Gunther is going to get wrecked in that ring. Again, pause, resume, but still. The point here still stands. Gunther is screwed. He screwed up as soon as he put blood on his body, that blood being Jimmy's. He's done for. It's going to be main event Jey Uso getting that World Heavyweight title. Yeet!
More Collect says, put the IC title on Dom. He been doing the damn thing. We'll talk about that match too here in a little bit. Maria again says, can't wait to hear about you yeeting at WrestleMania. What do I look like? Some buffoon? BT Knight, Gunther versus Jey Uso. Who do you got?
The obvious answer is going to be Jey Uso. I have been screaming from the top of my lungs for this since day one, but Jey Uso, when we released the clips on Instagram and we managed to share this and we get him to see this, like by any fucking chance we get to tag him in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to see this and I need you to listen. You're this close. You're this close, mate. Everything has been riding up to this one moment. You lost to Gunther 3 times. Please, for the love of God, do not make it 4. This is for your brother. This is for your family. This is for Roman. And this is for every single fan, including me and Toxic, Mr. Blood, Tommy, and in some parts, Snug as well.
Some parts, yeah.
As part of the Snug community, we want you to create a yeet session at WrestleMania. 4 letters, 1 word.
It's going to be 4 wins for Gunther. No, I'm kidding. Mr. Blood, let's hear from you.
I think I was the first person, guys, that literally said Jay had to win, otherwise they ruin him. That's because you spent the last year and a half now with him on a singles run by himself, and he moved over to Raw, and I can't believe it's been that long, but, you know, pushing him as this guy that has to be the big one. Remember when he first got onto the main roster or onto Raw in a singles push, they were putting him in every world title match, contendership matches, and all the main events, like for months and months. They were really, really behind him. And they took too long to pull the trigger. And in my opinion, this is if you don't do it now, then never. No one's going to want to see him fight again uphill to next WrestleMania to do this again. It has to be Saturday. It has to be. And no offense to Gunther, but I agree with Toxic. His run has sucked since he beat Randy. That even after they pulled Ludwig off of him, which I thought was a horrible idea because Ludwig adds charisma to his entire overall package. You know, I was like, dude, you really lost a lot of charisma when they took Ludwig away, and now you're just less interesting. Great wrestler, but I'm ready for the torch to get passed. And I'm ready to see Gunther on a chase again, but I'm ready to see Jay on top. So I got Jay on this one. And for the final father fucking time, one word, 4 letters.
Oh boy, you guys, man, how can we sit here and with a straight face and say Gunther's title run hasn't been great? I mean, Gunther is part of the reason why people like Sami Zayn are over as fuck. People like Jey Uso are over as fuck. And I think for that same reason, I think Gunther has to go over at WrestleMania. Gunther is, if you guys think Gunther's title run has been bad, let me tell you, Jey Uso, if he wins, I don't think his title run is going to be even half as good as Gunther's. So for that reason, I'm going to have to go Gunther all the way. I'm going to be the only guy here. I'm going to have to go with Gunther, and I'm going to sit here in front of everyone when we come back and we do the WrestleMania review, and I'm going to be like, ha, I told y'all. So we got 4 with Jay and 1 with Gunther.
And when he does, you must yeet.
No.
Real quick, guys, I do want to remind everybody we are on TikTok Live, so mind certain language, mind certain gestures. But if I may, Snug.
Yeah.
We're not saying that Gunther's title run has been bad.
You guys just said that.
No, we said since Randy, which was in the fall, it's been downhill.
No. You can't take it back now.
His stuff with Damian was great, but let me ask you this. Out of all the title defenses he's had since he won, can you name all of them?
Yeah.
Who?
All of them.
Other than
that
Randy
easy.
And Damian.
All of them.
What was memorable?
All of them. Everything.
And the thing is, Gunther had a great first half, but Jay has better stories to tell. That's the reason we want him to win. Not only does he deserve it, it's another Kofi Mania in a sense, but he literally has better stories to tell. Him versus, and by the way, Sammy and Jay and all these guys are not over because of Gunther. Sammy and Jay were over it because of the bloodline before they even got to Gunther.
It's all Gunther, man.
But Gunther's fantastic. I won't take it away from him, but it's Jay's moment, and I think you know that.
Nah, I refuse to accept that. It's this is Gunther's time to shine right here. Gunther, let's go, baby. WrestleMania 41, Las Vegas. Do it for Snug. All right, moving on real quick. We're going to go to the United States Championship match, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Go ahead, Tommy. Get us started with this one.
There is no possible way, as much as I love LA Knight, he's not retaining. He's just not. I would love for LA Knight to retain. But the issue is, when was the last time he went up against someone as dominant. Regular one-on-one. Hopefully, good old Solo does not get involved in this. But still, when was the last time that he went up against someone as dominant as Jacob Fatu?
When he faced Roman 2 years ago almost.
Exactly. 2 years ago. 2. Since then, he hasn't had someone as dominant as Jacob Fatu. As much as I would love for LA Knight to retain, I guarantee you the title will be going to Jacob Fatu.
I know you're not going to sit here and stand for this, BT Knight.
Oh, God.
Get him, BT. Cook him.
As much as I would love to cook Tommy right now into Kentucky Fried Chicken, I gotta agree with him. And the sad part is he's right, because Triple H fucked up the US title booking when he decided to give it to Shinsuke after repackaging him just after his comeback and did nothing with him. So you put the title back on LA Knight after you hear that Shinsuke brother passed away. For what? Just to put Jacob Fatu over. So you're basically making him a transitional champion. It's very disappointing, and I wish there was a different way to do it, because I wanted Jacob Fatu or Jimmy Uso to beat LA Knight at WrestleMania. I wanted that, because LA Knight deserves a world title shot in 2026. I called it. From day one, I called that he would be world champion in 2026. But we got to live with the consequences now. And this is what you've made LA Knight. This is what LA Knight is going to become if Jacob Fatu wins. And unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. So,
do you have a winner?
Jacob Fatu, he's winning it.
All right. Shout out to Hashim. Thank you for the follow. Mr. Blood, who do you got for this?
Again, on this one, I was the first one to say it, that if they don't put Jacob Fatu over at Mania, I have a fear that the crowd turns on the match or turns on the finish. I feel like there will be the cheers for LA Knight, but I feel like the overall consensus will be to boo the hell out of him. And then the internet wrestling community is just going to try to tear him apart and say, Jacob's a better wrestler, he's got better abilities, more charismatic, he's this, he's that, he's more over, yada. And they're just going to start trying to rip into LA Knight's character completely unfairly and completely unjustly, because LA Knight has gotten so much better since he's been on the main roster, the longer he's been there. He is a charisma freaking machine, and he's got a great look, and he's fun. He's such a fun guy. We love LA Knight. But this is, unfortunately, the road we've led to when they did hot potato that title between him and Shinsuke. And now we're stuck on the fucking road where it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You keep it on LA, that means great. Jacob doesn't get the rub of the biggest show, and he's a rising star. And the fans possibly turn on LA. Or we also get the other short end of the stick. You put it on Jacob Fatu, and maybe it's too early. And maybe it's not a good run because they don't have any actual ideas for who he can defend it against past Solo Sikoa. And then LA Knight's kind of just sat there on the back burner with nothing else to do in the mid-card scene. And maybe he's in catering unfairly and unjustly. So my pick prediction is Fatu's going to win with or without Solo's help. I think that's easy. I do, however, think it's going to be a very hard-fought win, because I do not think they're going to let LA Knight just go out like a chump. I think he's going to fight his ass off in this match, and I'm really excited to see both these guys get their moments to shine. I think we're going to get some really fucking cool moments in this match that those guys are going to set up in spots. But yeah, Jacob Fatu.
Go ahead, Toxic.
I got Jacob Fatu. No disrespect against LA Knight in any way. He's an amazing. Everything that Blood said is true about Knight. He's amazing. He's probably in my top 10 of favorite wrestlers. I just don't see him retaining after hot potatoing the title to Shinsuke and then back to Knight. It's that fucked it up. If they didn't hot potato it, I would have been like, sure, yeah, LA Knight's probably gonna do it, but it's gotta be Fatu.
I think for once we're all going to be on the same page here. I'm going to have to say Jacob Fatu also. Just the way that Jacob Fatu has been built the last few months. Hell, the way that Jacob Fatu has been built since he got to the WWE, I'm actually surprised he hasn't become United States champion already. I was kind of excited when they won the tag team titles, but then it was just taken off Jacob Fatu by Solo Sikoa and given to one of the other bloodline members. But man,
Tongaloa.
Thank you. But Jacob Fatu, man, he just looks really good in some gold, man. So I'm gonna go Jacob Fatu. All right, moving on to the next match. We have for the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. BT Knight, you got first on this one. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I don't give a fuck who wins. I don't have a prediction. I don't have a choice who wins. I just haven't given a fuck about this because it's too fucking it's just a bland blonde girl battle fucking Beverly Hills type of fucking match that I am just not interested in. So I don't give a fuck. That's just me.
Turn that smile upside down, man. We don't let the LA Knight thing get you down. Pump back up.
No, I'm dead serious. I haven't given a fuck about this feud since day one.
If you could pick a winner, then if you could choose a winner, setting aside not caring, but thinking like with that big old awesome wrestling brain you have, who makes sense if you were booking it?
If I was booking it, logically I would go Tiffany, but I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to Charlotte one more time. I wouldn't. So, but for the sake of choosing, I'll just go Tiffany. Fuck it.
All right, Blood, you're up.
Though you guys know, just like I left my heart back in Memphis, and my heart next to Charlotte Flair's closet. She is my absolute favorite. Love Charlotte. But I know, unless Triple H is trying to really, really get the fans to turn on the entire night, which you don't want, because if they put Charlotte over on Tiffany, that crowd is going to hijack the whole fucking show, bro. They'll hijack it all the way up until the triple threat main event. They'll ruin every single match that precedes that match. So, I mean, the only way that they could even conceivably have Charlotte go over is if they put Charlotte v. Tiffany right before the main event. Like, just so there's no absolute possible way the crowd would turn on, you know, Roman Rollins and Punk, because the crowd's is really there for that night one. That's what they're excited for. So that's the only way you could conceivably, intelligently risk putting Charlotte over on Tiffany. But this is, without being a pun, because in the last recent weeks of this feud, I've stopped liking her, but it is Tiffy's time. And I think Charlotte, 2 years in a row, is going to do the right thing, and she's going to put the younger star over. Or you know, it's just the right thing for her to do. And I think she knows that aside from their personal barbs, Charlotte is still probably, aside from that, the most professional
10 seconds
in that locker room. But I think she's going to do the right thing, and Tiffany's going over whether we like it or not.
Awesome. All right, let's go with you, Toxic, and then Tommy.
Triple H, if you know what you're doing, and you don't want to piss off hundreds of thousands of fans, you're making Charlotte. You're making Tiffany win.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlotte Flair does not need this win. I think it's Tiffany.
This is your time to shine, Tommy.
So, God damn it, Flynn, put the damn dictionary down. So, here's my thoughts on this. There are 3 things that are guaranteed in this world. You live, you unalive, and Charlotte Flair comes back and gets titles.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, that ain't going to be the case. I'm with the rest of them. I'm going Tiffany Stratton to win this and retain. I kind of have to here because what they say is true. If Triple H knows what he's doing, and he does, he will put Tiffany Stratton over. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
But she will get that title at some point. Charlotte will. It's just not going to be right now.
Oof. I don't know if you can beat Charlotte Flair clean already so soon coming back after being gone for so long at WrestleMania. I mean, if she already lost to Rhea Ripley last time at WrestleMania, that's when Rhea Ripley won the title from Charlotte Flair. I don't think Charlotte Flair can go back-to-back losing. No, that was WrestleMania 39, right? Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. Was Charlotte...
Rhea went up against Becky last year.
Who?
Rhea went up against Becky Lynch last year.
And who was Charlotte on the
Charlotte
card?
At WrestleMania 39.
Was Charlotte on the card of WrestleMania 40? I don't remember.
She was injured.
No.
Okay. I don't think you can beat Charlotte Flair 2 WrestleManias back-to-back. If Tiffany Stratton wins, if Tiffany Stratton keeps the belt, it's got to be a DQ somehow. It's going to be some fuck finish to protect Charlotte Flair and also keeps the belt on Tiffany Stratton. And at least Tiffany Stratton can say, hey, I didn't lose to you at WrestleMania. And we can probably still see them have a couple more matches because after the fucking car wrecks of the segments that we've been getting from them, I kind of want to see some more of that too. That shit was pretty fun. So I'm going to go Tiffany Stratton, but it's not going to be a clean finish. Charlotte Flair is not going to get pinned at WrestleMania. Let's read a couple of comments here by Big Back. That's a funny name. I'll gift you. Answer the question. Answer what question? I didn't see your question. Let's see. Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley? Sure. We'll give Big Back his their answer. Who wants to answer this one? Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley? Go ahead, BT. BT, be careful, all right? Be careful.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
All right.
I'll be nice. Rhea, without a shadow of a doubt.
There you go. I think we can all agree with that, right, fellas?
Yep.
There you go, Big Back. Thank you. You don't have to gift us, but thank you for being on here. Thank you for your comment. All right. Speaking of matches that don't really matter, that I don't really care about, for the World Tag Team titles, the War Raiders versus the New Day. Now, I'm going to go first here on this one because I had huge hopes for the New Day when they first turned heel. I was excited for them because I was sick and tired of the dancing, gyrating unicorns and the trombones and the pancakes and all that funny stuff, but they haven't really had a really good heel run either, so they kind of just seems like they just got thrown into this match randomly. But I am still a bigger fan of the New Day compared to the War Raiders, so I'm going to go with the New Day to become the new tag team champions. Let's go with you, Blood.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with you that because if you guys remember months ago, I went off like a fucking firework about how they had turned heel and then it took them 6 weeks until they had their first match as heels. I was fucking flabbergasted. And so, but I have always been a fan of the Viking Raiders, now the War Raiders. Always loved them, especially when Eric went out on injury. Ivar was having some of the coolest matches, and the one that never seems to leave my mind is him versus Kofi Kingston on that Monday Night Raw. It was insane. But people forget these two teams had a feud back in 2022, and it was insanely good. They had that Viking Rules match that was crazy. So for me, I know these guys are going to go out there and give us one hell of a performance. It's going to be a great athletically worked match. It's going to get This Is Awesome chance. I already know that because we've seen them do it a couple times. However, I'm with you where I don't care who wins it. I do, however, have a prediction for the fact that I think Big E gets involved at Mania. I think that's why we haven't seen him come back since the breakup. Is I think he's coming back at the end of this match to stop Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston from winning. They're going to try to cheat or something's going to happen, or they're going to try to, beat him up with something, and all of a sudden you're going to hear Big E's music, or he's going to pop out of nowhere, and he's going to yank one of them out of the ring, or beat them up, or stop them. But I think we get the return of Big E. However, the big shock twist, I think that we're going to think Big E is against them to stop them from what they're doing. I think Big E's going to turn heel with them.
I'd be down for that. That sounds cool to me. Toxic.
At first, when they were the Viking Raiders, I did not like them whatsoever. I thought these two, they're just big, meaty men that are heels and that don't like literally anyone. Love them as the War Raiders. They are amazing as the War Raiders. I really didn't like the Viking gimmick. So I have them winning this match and retaining because they have been on fire. Their first match against the New Day for the Tag Team Championship, Ivar crushed Kofi Kingston in the barricade. Crushed. But I'm leaving out a key detail here. I don't think they win clean. I think we get Big E return, and he announces that he's medically clear, like Blood said. Or, if you remember, there is a third member of the Viking Raiders. We see a Valhalla return, which I would be down for that. She's out, I think, on pregnancy. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm excited for this match. Unlike Snug, I'm pretty sure he said he's unexcited.
Shout out to Daniel Snyder on the comments. This comment is for you, Mr. Blood. They don't see them pulling the trigger on a Big E heel turn the night he returns. Very.
The reason I think it would be great, old school by the way. The reason I see them doing it is because if I'm gonna, let's just say I want to really, really make a WrestleMania moment, but I don't want it to be too mushy and gushy. I want to really give you something to talk about, along with the other things, because you know that they probably know no one really cares about this tag match. But the finish of Big E coming back and announcing to the crowd that he's medically cleared, not only would it give them this huge, insane WrestleMania moment, which you know they're all about, and pop them, they'd be talking about it even more if he turned heel and stabbed the War Raiders in the back out of nowhere, and then the crowd's really got something to talk about. And then, you know what? That's now an angle you're interested in with the New Day, because they know that they fumbled their heel turn, and now they're going to be getting talked about again, and now you got a new angle to start pushing for on the Raw after Mania, just as the draft comes around. I think it's the perfect time to do it on the biggest stage of them all. We make your heart, and then we break it all over again.
All right, Tommy, go ahead.
I am going to agree with you guys. I'm going New Day here. But, Blood, I love you, but I think you're insane. I do agree that Big E should come back, but a heel turn? No! Like, absolutely not. After everything that those two flat out said to him, no. 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 But I do think Big E is coming back. That would be fucking fantastic if he did. But I don't think he's turning heel. If anything, I definitely think he's going to talk to them a little bit and try to hash out what they said to him during that breakup. But I don't think he's joining them. Not at Mania. I feel like eventually he will, but not at Mania.
So who do you got?
I'm going New Day.
All right, BT, you're up.
I'm gonna go with War Raiders, and I want Big E to stay a face and help the War Raiders win.
Very good. So we got 4 picks for the New Day and 1 for the
2.
War Raiders.
2 for War Raiders.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then we'll see what happens with that one. The next match, you guys, is a match that I'm actually looking forward to, and I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this because I'm talking about Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Why am I looking forward to this match? Unlike some of these other matches, like the one we just got talking about, and this match right here has been built up for months. It has a crazy storyline that doesn't completely insult my intelligence. It's pretty straightforward. Jade Cargill is like a special case where we don't get to see her wrestle a whole lot. It seems like she's kind of getting like that Roman treatment, which also to me it adds a little bit more excitement. I'm curious to see how she's going to do at WrestleMania on the biggest stage of them all. So I'm looking forward to this match. Blood, you go first. Get us started with this one. Who you got?
Again, I really wish they would have left Bianca in this because I feel like this is where it would have been a perfect place for us to get a Bianca heel turn in this match, in this story. I still think it's possible that before Bianca goes on to handle her match, because I think the women's match, their match should be on night 2, that she's already getting booed like crazy, and I mean, I feel like if she's already getting heel reactions, have her help Naomi win by turning heel on Jade as well, so we can start building Jade versus Bianca. But have her turn heel on night 1 so she goes into night 2 heel. But I think that the only thing I'm worried about this match is Jade has shown us that she's still very green and she can't even get through tag matches without botching or without Bianca carrying most of the match. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go if Naomi is capable of carrying her through a match the same way Bianca would be. That being said, I do think that Jade needs vindication, so Jade needs to win. But if Jade loses, I think she only loses because Bianca turns heel and helps Naomi on night 1.
Absolutely. Tommy, you're next.
I am also going Jade here. It's the obvious choice, but at the same time, I do not think that Naomi is going to end up beating Jade, especially with how pissed Jade is right now. Like, she is livid. I do not think Naomi is actually going through this. The only way she does, yes, it might be Botch City, not as much as Sin Cara, but still, the only way Naomi wins is with Bianca. That's if Bianca decides, hey, I'm going to turn heel now. But I do not think without Bianca that Naomi is beating Jade.
Shout out to Rodimus Red. Thank you for the like. Don't forget to double tap the screen and share the live. Thank you guys so much, everyone that's here hanging out with us. We're going over WrestleMania predictions. We're on night 1 right now. And BT Knight is going to tell us who he thinks is going to win out of Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I actually don't know. I don't know who should win this.
Jade.
I gotta go Naomi.
Damn it.
She has been doing very well as the heel recently. And as much as Jade needs vindication, as possibly the next big women's wrestler, Naomi needs vindication as well for being a serious heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of both ways in my opinion. So I'm gonna go Naomi.
Not a bad prediction. I think you might actually be right there, Mr. BT Knight. Toxic. Did we go with you? No, we haven't. Go ahead, Toxic.
I have Jade 100%. She, even though Bianca carried her in a lot of the matches that that they had when they were tag team champions, and just in general. Excuse me. I'm really excited for this, but does anyone else hate this heel thing that Naomi's like the gimmick, like proceed with caution? Does anyone else hate that?
I do, but that's just because I don't like Naomi, period.
I don't like Naomi heel. I've always liked her face. Which, yes, it does make sense that for her to be the one that attacked Jade. But I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
No, I'm with you. And for that same reason, I'm going to go with Jade Cargill. But I am looking forward to this match because these women, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to sound like a broken record. They have a story. They have a build. They have a reason. They got there's personal issues here. And also they're making, in my eyes, I feel like they're making history because this is the first singles women's match, non-title match on the main show at WrestleMania since 2006, WrestleMania 19. Shout out to the homie Soto6 from 619 for putting me up on that fun fact. And also, they're two African-American women. And I bring this up because there's a lot of talk about the WWE Hall of Fame, how Triple H is not nominating any black people or any Mexican people. It's just all white people in the Hall of Fame. But no one talks about this match between Jade Cargill and Naomi at WrestleMania. It's kind of a big deal. Just saying. But I'm going to go with Jade Cargill. The final match that we're going to talk about when it comes to night one of WrestleMania is the greatest match on this whole entire card. The match that I'm looking forward to the most out of all the matches in night one. Can you guys guess which match this is?
If you say Rey and Americano, I swear to God.
Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano should be in the main event of both nights of WrestleMania.
I hope you get stuck in traffic on the way to the stadium Saturday afternoon.
This match is going to be a banger. This is going to be the ultimate luchador spectacle. We got two of the greatest luchadors of all time. Well, actually, we got one legendary wrestler, one great luchador, and Rey Mysterio in the ring in this match. Toxic, you're up first.
Stadium seats are sticky.
Toxic, who do you think is going to win? The greatest luchador of all time or Rey Mysterio?
Snug, you're lucky we're on TikTok, so I can't say this.
Go ahead, say it.
No. You're lucky we're on TikTok.
All right.
I'm not going to say it.
All right.
But I have Rey Mysterio winning this. And that is not El Grande Americano. That is Chad Gable.
There's no proof.
Okay, so why does he wear a mask that literally says American made?
Because he's part of the American made.
Was that announced?
I mean, it says it on the mask. It was announced on the mask.
Okay, and also, if you noticed on this past Raw, Chad Gable had a little red mark on his knuckles.
Yeah, we've been over this. That was Photoshop.
Okay,
what about
let me finish.
Photoshop.
Let me finish. Hold on. When El Grande, I'm not even gonna call him that. I'm gonna call him Chad Gable, like he's formerly known as.
Chad
He is
Gable's
known
not
as
on this
Chad Gable.
card.
That,
Hurry up, you
I
got a
have Rey
minute left.
Mysterio. I have Rey Mysterio. Chad Gable sucks.
All right. BT, who you got? The greatest luchador of all time or Rey Mysterio?
The greatest luchador of all time versus Ultimo Maga himself. I'm going with Rey Mysterio because I want to see Ultimo Maga be unmasked in front of that crowd for the fraud that he is. He is going to get the beating of a lifetime. He's going to get beat more worse than he did to Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania 39. I'm calling it now. He's going to beat Ultimo Maga way worse than he did to his own son. And I hope he fucking does. Rey Mysterio all the way. 619.
All right, Tommy. And then Mr. Blood.
The word of the day, booyaka. That is who is going to win this today. It will be booyaka, booyaka. The greatest luchador of all time, Rey Mysterio. It is going to be Rey, and I promise you, Snug, you may say, oh, El Grande Americano is going to win. He's the greatest luchador of all time. No. Shut your mouth. No. Plain and simple, the answer is Rey Mysterio. Plain and simple. The tat on his back flat out proves right there that it's Chad Gable. Same tat, exact same placement, everything. And I promise you, at the end of this match, doesn't matter if American Made decides to come out, LWO is going to come out as well to stop them from stopping Rey, unmasking this man for the fraud that he is over here putting a metal piece into his mask. Like, no, screw that. El Grande Americano is losing to the greatest luchador of all time, Rey Mysterio.
I mean, we live in 2025, you guys. It could have easily been AI or Photoshop or something like that, but it's cool. Go ahead, Mr. Blood.
5150 speaking Spanglish. I soy helado, fue pesado, mío papito, pegado, pecado.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Rey Mysterio is the greatest luchador still living today, and you can kiss the fattest part of Tommy, Toxic, and BT's conjoined ass. Look, that being said, Chad Gable's winning. Yeah, I got Chad Gable, and I'll tell you why. There's no way that they have him do this whole character switch, this entire new persona, and then have him get screwed out of his shot against Gunther last year in favor of Sammy, and they still have him eat the loss at Mania again this year. He's been taking loss after loss after loss forever. They've got to give him something. He just signed a new contract. You got to give him something. I think he wins by dirty tactics. And I think, however, he gets unmasked after the match. I think he gets attacked, beat down, whatever, or he tries to keep taking liberties on Rey. I think it breaks down after the match, and they get the mask off him, and it's revealed that it's Chad Gable. And then maybe, just maybe, they throw out the match. The match doesn't count as a win in Chad's column because he didn't come to the ring himself and he cheated. So, and he pretended to be somebody else, therefore, maybe it's null and void. That being said, I feel like everything, this whole WrestleMania is all feel good when you really think about it, right? There's got to be some heartbreak somewhere. I just watched Triple H's whole 2 hour, 39-minute interview that he just did this week. And he said, sometimes, he was asked, are you worried if you don't send the fans home happy? He's like, sometimes, got to break your heart. That's storytelling. Got to break your heart so we can put it back together. And I think that Chad Gable, Americano, whatever, I think he actually deserves the win because Chad has been a team player for a very, very long time. They had him on a losing streak when he was with Alpha Academy. He was on a losing streak when he was against Gunther. He was on a losing streak against Sami Zayn. He's been on a losing streak with American Made. You got to give him a win somewhere because the guy is truly credible, a real legitimate, credible Olympic wrestler. So I got to go with Americano / Chad Gable. But I think he's unmasked afterwards. That's my prediction.
I don't know why you guys keep talking about Chad Gable when it's clearly El Grande Americano, the greatest luchador of all time. And look, you guys, I've told you guys this before. I'm going to have to go with El Grande Americano here because since I was a kid, I've been a huge fan of this guy. When I was growing up, you know, in Mexico, we would go over there and watch his matches as a kid. And it's just so cool that he's in WWE finally. I get to see him. You grew up in a
mental institution?
No, I grew up in Sacramento. It's kind of the same thing.
A mental institution.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Who in the world wants to fly over there and to nozo his ass so damn hard?
I'm not done though because
up against the table.
You guys want to see El Grande Americano get disgraced out of his very, very respected luchador mask. This is a tradition. You guys are wishing the worst on him.
I'm just saying that's the whitest Mexican I've ever seen.
No, he speaks Spanish. Gracias.
He's the only Mexican I've ever seen that's never seen the sun.
Gracias.
He speaks the basics.
Hey,
that's it.
We got white people in Mexico too, all right? It's not just here. All right?
They came from here.
Anyway, El Grande Americano is going to win, and he is going to rip the mask out of that fraud, Rey Mysterio, and for being the worst father of all time, Rey Mysterio is gonna get what's coming to him, and then El Grande Americano is gonna win. That's who I got. And with that, you guys, that was night one of WrestleMania Saturday night snug predictions. Let's see how many of those we get right. Talk amongst yourselves, fellas, because I have to go pee, and then we'll come back with night two of WrestleMania predictions. All right, I'll be back.
Okay, so Tommy, I'm going over to super kick him, right?
No, I don't want to super kick him. I want to do
drive.
Worse than
Package
super
pile
kick
drive.
him. How about
I'm gonna fucking Braun Breaker spear the shit out of him.
Remember,
this is what we need to do.
Remember your language, though. We're still on TikTok Live.
Yeah.
So
remember.
This is what we need to do. We need to super kick him, and then we need to claymore him, and then once he gets up, that's when we Braun Breaker spear him.
Wait. Don't forget the package pile driver.
Oh, not the package pile driver. Not the package pile driver.
Don't forget.
No, we don't do the package pile driver. We do the dead man signature.
Oh, the
Phenom signature.
The tombstone.
The tombstone pile driver.
And that's why Chad Gable and El Grande Americano suck.
Chad Gable is great. Chad Gable is great.
He's great.
It's El Grande Americano I can't stand. Sometimes I can see between the two people, and I don't know why.
It's the same person. What do you mean the two people?
I kind of get where Snug is coming from. I kind of get where he's coming from because El Grande Americano can sometimes piss me off, but I respect Chad Gable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's full on proven that it's Chad.
It's Chad Gable.
Yes, I know
it's not Chad Gable.
But
Chad
I respect Chad Gable more than El Grande Americano. I respect I respect Chad Gable more than I respect El Grande Americano. But it is Chad Gable.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. Do you get what I mean?
No.
All right.
So Toxic. Every time you mess up a word and you stumble, I'm just gonna hold this up. But you want to know the sad part? This is actually my safe.
By the way, Snug, I was not expecting this morning to get the notification of an entire episode on our random rants before and in between podcasts.
I told you guys I was going to start doing that.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
his most recent episode that he put out, it's behind the mic and is legitimately just a bunch of clips of our random rants that we do right before the episode.
Wait, on what channel?
You shared it on your story.
I share it just to share it for you. But it's not a link I clicked on. I'm just promoting it for you.
Thank you.
But I don't open the link.
Oh, well, maybe you should, asshole.
Oh, I know. Hey, excuse me for trying to still share it around. I got about 70,000 people to push it to.
Thank you. Keep doing that. But also, click the link every now and then. No.
Wait. So you didn't post like clips on like Instagram or TikTok or anything?
No. So I told you guys, and if you guys didn't hear me, then it's not my fault.
I
but
heard you.
I started recording our conversations before we go live, and
God, I hope you're being selective.
No,
say they can't see the light again.
No, I mean obviously, I'm not gonna post anything if it's like, anything that we're not supposed to.
So we're not posting anything that Blood says. Gotcha.
Yeah, what about Tommy's ointment again?
Yeah.
Boy,
like I can tell you, your little commercial didn't make the cut.
No.
What commercial?
Your little fucking your freaking lube commercial
YouTube
or whatever you were
live
doing
stream.
the other day.
It made the YouTube live stream.
Wait, my
Yeah, you made the YouTube live stream. I remember that shit because it popped up with a notification. It popped up with a notification on my end.
Well, that's live. That's a difference. There's nothing I can do about that.
Hey, well, just out here self-destructing my brand before it even starts.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready for
Night Two.
All right, we're back again, you guys, and it's time to do some predictions for Night 2 of WrestleMania. And just a reminder, we have a 2-minute limit for these matches. We're going to go down the list, and we're going to take turns. No more than 2 minutes to predict these matches. And for Night 2 of Sunday's WrestleMania, we're going to get started with the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And because Mr. Blood went first this time, let's go with you first, Mr. BT Knight.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some change in WWE once again. And this time, we are giving the title to John Cena. He deserves it. He needs it. It's number 17 headed his way. There are more stories to tell with John Cena. There is something new to do. Because what else is John Cena going to do after he loses? That's my whole point about it. Cody, I respect what you have done for the past year, but it's time for some new change. It's time for a change. We need something new. So I'm going with John Cena. Let's go.
Tommy.
BT, man, I'm going to have to go against you on this one. I'm going Cody. I'm going Cody here. And you say, oh, like, what is Cena going to do after he loses? Intercontinental. That's it. That is legitimately the only title he needs to become Grand Slam. Intercontinental. If he loses this match on Sunday, Intercontinental. That's the only title that he needs. That is the only title that him and Sheamus both have almost had in their grasp and that has slipped out. If he loses, he goes after the Intercontinental. That's it.
Blood.
This one has been a difficult one for me to decide because either man can win this and either man can lose this, honestly. If John Cena wins, then that means we get a continued heel John Cena, at least until I would assume SummerSlam. Because I think he's going out as a babyface. I think he's going to be a heel all the way through the summer into the beginning of fall. But if Cody wins, I think that's when a lot of those other fans are going to turn on Cody. And I think that we don't want that. Cody has been a great champion for what they've, and people like Cody's a horrible champion. Cody's not a bad champion. That's what they've written for him. He's doing what they've written for him. The feuds that he's in, they picked. You know, so if it's lackluster, you can blame the writing, but don't act like Cody hasn't been going out there giving it his all every single time. He has. He never phones it in. But I think that Cody, it'd be good to see Cody chasing again. Because you don't need a champion to be the face. But at the same time, in that regard, the reason I'm going to pick Cena to win is not because the 17th title, I think that's bullshit, the 17th championship. I've never said this yet, but it's bullshit. Because the actual real record that Ric Flair holds isn't 17. Because now the WWE consumed and purchased WCW in their library, but the real number is much higher than 17. That's just the 17 that WWE is willing to talk about. But at the same time, I don't care about that. I care that if he loses, Cena loses, then his heel turn was pointless. Why would you do the biggest fucking thing you could think of in the final year of his career if you were going to make it meaningless?
10 seconds.
First fucking match that he had. So it's Cena. He has to. Otherwise, why turn him heel?
Toxic?
Cody Crybaby for life. I got Cody, but I have a few predictions about the match. So I think this is going to turn out a lot like WrestleMania 40, but without the Bloodline Rules stipulation. Like, for instance, we could get Travis Scott coming out, The Rock coming out. But I think there's two people that you have to have come out to stop them. The one that I would have Travis Scott go against is the only other music artist that's actually had time in WWE, Bad Bunny. I would love to hear the pop for his return. And for the person who's going to stop The Rock, give me a hell yeah. Stone Cold. I got Cody.
Get the dictionary, Blood. Get the dictionary.
Cody Crybaby for life.
Smack this man with that dictionary. No, I bet my wife would be really happy to hear that Bad Bunny come out also, but I'm Cody Crybaby for life. I want Cody Rhodes to win. I've always been a way bigger fan of Cody, and I think everything that Cody has done in the WWE and in pro wrestling in general, I just think it's been a lot better than anything John Cena has ever done in his WWE career, including Stardust. Cody Crybaby for life. I need Cody to beat John Cena at WrestleMania, so I'm going Cody Rhodes all the way. So, this next match, you guys.
Did Tommy get to go?
Who cares? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, I did, because I said that BT is wrong here and that Cody's absolutely going to win it, because if Cena doesn't, he can just move on to the Intercontinental.
Okay, nobody is wrong here. These are all opinions, except for if you're Blood, then Mr. Blood, then you are wrong. But moving on, Mr. Blood, don't look at me like that, all right? I'm just kidding.
I really hope that on the way to the arena, you get stuck in traffic. I hope you get stuck in traffic. I hope the bathroom line's too long. I hope the beer that you drink in the stadium is flat. And I hope that the seat you sit in is sticky and someone spilled something in it.
And I hope your car loses the ability to stop. I hope that when you're in the shower, you go to pick up the soap, and as it falls down, you fall down with it.
You know what? And I don't want it to happen to your son or your wife's seat. I hope they have the best time of the entire weekend. I hope it's you.
Well, that's really sweet of you, Mr. Blood. All right, let's go back to WrestleMania Night 2 of the biggest show of them all in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is your guys' all of our favorite match right here, the women's triple threat match for the World Championship. Rhea Ripley, versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. Tommy, you're up first this time. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think that precious little Bianca is losing her streak. As much as I would love for her to continue that little streak of hers, it's not happening. Which means it's down for me to between Io and Rhea. The one that has always beaten Rhea versus the one that hasn't beaten Io yet. The problem here is, and Rhea has said it time and time again, she had Io right there. I'm going Rhea here. As much as I would love for Io to retain that title, I'm going with Rhea Bloody Ripley.
All right, let's see. Blood, go ahead.
This one's actually, just like the last one, this one's really difficult. And I mean difficult only because it's hard to choose between Rhea and Io in this. I have no qualms saying that Bianca Belair is not winning this. She's not even on the SmackDown fucking brand. Or sorry, the Raw brand. So it's like, dude, what why do you even go here? Like, you have a whole other feud on Fridays that you just fucking hopscotched out of that isn't done with you yet. Where's the resolved issues with that shit? No, we're just dropping your part of the story in that? Hell no. Get the fuck back on Fridays. And the thing that worries me is that if they did have Bianca win, we have the draft coming up. And with the draft rules as of last year, champions cannot move brands. So they avoid the whole Becky Charlotte thing that happened several years ago. So if the champions can't move brands, that means they're probably moving Jade to Raw if Bianca wins, and then we're getting their feud that way. But what? Because you know that Naomi and Jade will conclude here. But what's aggravating to me is that if you put it back on Rio, everybody's going to say, oh, it's going to become Rhea wins LOL, Super Rhea. Oh, they always put it on Rhea. Oh, Rhea's the new Charlotte, yada, yada. They're going to start dog walking her character as much as possible. But if if Io retains, then we run into another problem. What the fuck do you do then? I said this weeks ago. What stories do you tell with Io? All her promos are in Japanese. I'm sorry, she's a fantastic wrestler. But what do you do with her? Who do you work her with? Every promo is Japanese. I mean, every single fucking match she'll have will be athletic. Great, but where are all the stories? Because you don't have someone who can communicate the way
10 seconds.
Anybody else will. My problem is if Io loses, you ruin her character because you just showed us she's a fluke champion every time she's champion. So I think it has to be Io, but I'm not happy about it.
Toxic.
Bianca's losing her streak at WrestleMania. Bye-bye. And Rhea's finally getting to say that she beat Io. I 100% have Rhea, even though she lost the title on a random episode of Monday Night Raw. It's Rhea. It's Rhea. But I'm not saying it's completely impossible for Io to lose. I think if Io wins, it's not going to be clean, even though the match is no disqualifications because it's a triple threat. I think possibly we get a return in this match. That return being Asuka. Even I don't know where she's at on her injury. I don't know what she's injured with, but I think she's returning, and that's the only way I see Io winning. That's the only way. Other than that, Rhea's winning 100%.
Go ahead, BT.
You all know how much I have hated this feud. I have bashed this feud to oblivion. As shit as the build-up has been, The match itself is going to be great no matter what. But the outcome is not going to benefit the future, as Mr. Blood said. But if I had to pick a winner, the safest option, and it's disappointing, it's got to be Io. She has to retain.
Wow.
Because there is no point in just hot potatoing the title to Io just to make her a transitional champion. There's the same logic with LA Knight, but everybody is going to want Jacob Fatu to win. So nobody gives a fuck about that. But if you do give a fuck about that logic, put it on Io. Would you rather her a transitional champion, hot potato that back to Rhea, or just give it to Bianca in a needless fucking stay on Raw thing? Or would you rather have Io win it? Just take that into consideration. I'm going Io.
Shout out to Popcorn Review. Thank you for the follow. All right, Big T Knight got Io Sky. Wow, I wasn't expecting anyone to pick Io Sky, but I get where you're coming from, BT. This is why we've been complaining about this whole entire feud since they put the title on Io on a random Monday Night Raw after she defeated Rhea Ripley. Because I was kind of thinking the same thing that Toxic was saying. Rhea Ripley, if she pins Io Sky, then Rhea Ripley can say, I finally beat Io Sky. But here's a problem with that. It's a triple threat match. It's not a singles match. So can Rhea Ripley really say, I beat Io Sky? No, because Bianca's in there too. All these women have to win or else it's going to end badly for them, I feel like. If Bianca doesn't win, it's not going to be good for her as far as like, what is she going to do next? What is she going to do after? Maybe she gets involved in that storyline with Jade Cargill. If Io Sky loses, then what do you do with her? And if Rhea Ripley doesn't win, it's like...
That's exactly what I said weeks ago. Remember when I said, no matter who wins this, everybody loses. That's exactly what I said weeks ago. They booked themselves into a corner, and now each of these girls is going to suffer in one way or another. Rhea becomes the new Charlotte. Oh, she always wins. When in doubt, break glass. Rhea Ripley. Io wins, no story, and they still make her an afterthought and everything else like they always do, just like they did her first title run. And if Bianca wins, the fans turn on her completely, and then you have to turn her heel because they're already in the middle of turning on her. You put that on her when she shouldn't even have been involved in this, and they all know that. You just threw out one of your top baby faces in the women's division all because you didn't know how to book this shit. None of these girls come out of this squeaky clean or in a way that's satisfying.
Yeah, I definitely have not been a fan of how this whole feud and storyline, whatever you want to call it, has been going. The only thing that I would like to see come out of all this is because I'm a huge fan of Rhea, just like I'm a huge fan of Io Sky, but I want to see Bianca win. I want to see Bianca win at WrestleMania because I am looking forward to seeing Bianca turn heel. And maybe if the match with Naomi and Jade Cargill has anything to do with Bianca or this triple threat match, I want to see potentially Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair for the women's title. That's what I want to see somehow, some way down the line. I know it doesn't make sense. They're in different shows and the draft is coming up, but just for that, I want to say Bianca Belair.
I feel like that's the only way we get to Jade versus Bianca. That's the only reason I would say Bianca would win, and I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Is because it's the only way I think we get there. The problem is, I don't think anybody wants to see Jade as the women's champion.
Well,
she's too green. She's too sloppy. She has great presentation, a fantastic look. But do you think she can carry a fucking 4 to 5 star-esque fucking match in a women's title?
Who cares about that? Who cares about 4 or 5 star matches?
The bell has to ring, and then you have to care. You know, like the story could be great, but if the match is crap, who cares? Everybody will care.
If
I
the
paid to
story
see
is
this.
if the story is great, then the match will be great.
If they rehearse the shit out of it, sure.
Sure, Mr. Blood. See, how do you go from agreeing with me to disagreeing with me in the same sentence?
It's
Blood?
because I agree with your logic of how we get to that title match or that one-on-one match that we do need, and I feel like we should have had it by now. I feel like that should have been the match that Bianca was in this Mania.
You should have just left it at. I agree with you, Snug. You're right. You're
Because
the greatest wrestling
right
mind of all time.
You are right that we do need that match and that this is the way to get there. But in all honesty, you would have to have Jade lose because she is nowhere near ready to be a world champion.
All right. Another multi-person match. The multi-person match number 8 of the night, it feels like, for the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. Mr. Blood, I think you're up first.
This one, the thing I can say about all these multi-man matches, because man, it feels like WrestleMania 2000. But you know, the thing about these multi-matches that you can really say, so many of these, you just really can't honestly pick an easy fucking winner for nearly most of them, right?
Yeah.
Because you could have Braun retain, right? You could have Penta, the new squeaky toy, get that nice fucking, whatever. But if you're going to put it on Penta and he's only been in the company for 3.5 months, why did you wait almost, 10.5 months to put it on Jacob Fatu if he wins? You know what I mean? And so it comes down to like, okay, well, not him. But then I think the best story in this 4-man match is the dissension in the Judgment Day between Dom and Finn. I feel like it has to be one of them. And I feel like it has to be one of them in a way that creates a rift and a jealousy that we get another breakup of the Judgment Day, like breakup number 3, right? But I feel like Dominic has to win to push Finn over the edge. So I feel like, because if Finn wins, yay, Finn wins, he's all happy. Now he's not, angry and super passive aggressive every 5 seconds of the Judgment Day. But all those snide, mean things he's been saying to Dom, all the manipulation, all the backstabbing words and the underhanded fucking shit he's been whispering, he would get his comeuppance if Dom somehow won, either by winning by accident or stealing his, or even better, Finn goes for the pin, Dom throws him off and throws him out of the ring, and then he steals the pin. Dom becomes champion, and now you've really got a feud to build between Dom and Finn.
10 seconds.
I think Dominic has to win to push Finn over the edge to turn on Dom.
All right, you're up, Toxic.
So, I'm in the middle between two. And it's not Braun Breaker. Yes, he's great as the Intercontinental Champion, but I still hate him for dethroning Jay. Still hate him. Don't care what you say. Hate him just for that one thing. That spear on Carlito, dope. His presentation, dope. Anything he does in the ring, good. Love it. The other, I don't really see Finn winning because, he's been on a massive losing streak. Yes, you could argue, oh, but that's a better way. That's a better reason for him to win. I just don't see him winning. That means I'm indecisive between Penta and Dominic. The reason why I want Dom is because his reign as the NXT North American Champion was so good. So good. Loved every single second of it. It was something that he could take over to the red brand or the blue brand, show it off, make it look good, and bring some more people over to NXT, bring some more fans to watch NXT.
Get a dictionary, Blood. Yeah. That's what you need right there.
Fuck you. Anyways, I also have Penta because, he just got there. Wouldn't it be nice to see someone who just got to the WWE win a title that has been historic? Historic. I don't know what about Penta, but I feel like he would make this shine bright, like the past champions have. So yeah, my answer is Dominic Mysterio or Penta.
Well, Popcorn Review says he feels like, or they feel like, sorry, that Dom is taking this one and kicking Finn out, or Braun takes it to look strong. Thank you for your prediction there, Popcorn Review. BT, you're up next.
I want to see Dominic win so badly. I want to see Finn crash out. I want to see him crash out. I want to see it so badly. Please give that title to Dominic. Give every single person who is a fan of Dominic a reason to be a fan of him. He's not just a joke. He's actually talented. Like, he can make you hate him in 6.5 seconds. He has that ability to do that. So I think give him a decent run with that IC title, and that way we can take Finn Balor more serious as a singles competitor as well. So those are my thoughts.
All right, Tommy, and then Snug.
I love the fact that, Blood, you brought up the destruction of the Judgment Day, because that gave me an idea. These two fight it over like a normal fatal four-way would be, but eventually Dom does win, but Finn takes the damn pin. That there would put so much tension in the Judgment Day right there. Because Finn would be pissed at Dom for pinning him for the title in the first place, which would eventually break up the entirety of the Judgment Day.
I love that.
Touche,
it's perfect.
Tommy.
It's perfect.
Touche.
It's perfect, Tommy.
Damn.
I mean, really. Think about it. It's a great way. Because I already want Finn to lose his shit, but if Dom has to pin him in order to win, well, what's Finn's argument going to be? We're supposed to be in this together, and you going to pin me for the championship? And Dom's be like, well, it's a fatal four. What was I supposed to do? It just, like you said, it doesn't matter who wins so long as the title's back home in the Judgment Day, right? Well, I won, so what does it matter? We all won because I won. You're right. Absolutely. And he's going to fucking stab him in the back.
So now gravel at the feet of the greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
But yeah, I honestly think that how it should go is the normal fatal four-way. Everybody gets super exhausted until Dom eventually, as Balor is
10
laying
seconds
on the ring, he does that frog splash and pins Finn for the Intercontinental. That's what I want to happen.
Shout out to Alexis Perez. Penta is going to win, he says. I don't know. This is, man, I'm surprised to hear so many people wanting Dom to win. I thought Dom would be the least favorite out of all these guys to win it. I see why people think Penta should win it, but I feel like it's too soon for Penta. Even though he's been built up in a great way, it took Cody Rhodes over a year to win the Undisputed title. I don't think Penta's just going to come in 2 years. I don't think Penta's going to come in and win the title at WrestleMania after being in the WWE, a couple months. The other thing, too, Dominic Mysterio. I would like Dominic Mysterio to win it because he's just had it hard his whole life, you know? He's had a rough life growing up, you know, just having not really having parents, you know, not really having his dad there for him. I feel like Dom made it a long way from nothing, you know.
Oh God, living in a mansion, what a hard upbringing.
What do you mean? He was neglected by his father,
My father never taught me, but my mom and sister were always home to spend time.
He wanted a BMW and he got a Mercedes instead. What kind of shit is that?
I got the wrong car, but my dad is willing to do a custody match against Eddie Guerrero.
White people problems.
Look, and then going back to what Tommy was saying, how if Dom wins it, that'll set Finn off, and maybe we can see a match between those two. I'm all for seeing Dom versus Finn Balor, but I think Finn Balor has to be the one to win it, and Dom goes after Finn Balor. I think the people would really get behind Dominic Mysterio if you go that way instead. Either way, we still get Finn versus Dom. So I'm going to go Finn Balor. Yes, Mr. Blood.
I understand your reasoning. I just don't feel like the story really served, the way they've told it, serves it that Finn wins, because Finn has been the jealous one of Dom for weeks now. If you really give him a reason to be jealous, then you kind of get a validated reason for Finn to be the shitbag in this situation. But at the same time, I feel like this entire Fatal 4-Way has honestly been set up just to serve the story of Dom and Finn's dissension from one another. It's really not a story about Braun Breaker defending his title.
No.
It's a story about if Finn or Dom can get along when it comes to this match.
No, you're right, but who's a more believable champion? The guy, Dominic Mysterio, he's great, but he's the biggest chicken shit heel in the company.
Well, that's the point.
Who gets beat up all the time. He doesn't win matches. He just puts people over. So you put the Intercontinental title on him?
That's the point, though. He's not believable. That's what sets Finn off, because Finn knows Dom is a chicken shit. Finn knows that he's better than Dom. Finn knows that Dom is absolutely nothing without their help. He knows it. That's why it pushes him over the edge. How are you the second champion? I'm the prince. I'm the leader of the Judgment Day. How are you? How are you the champion? It should be me. I'm the Farmer World. I'm the first ever Universal Champion. How the hell do you beat me?
After everything,
it serves his ego. It serves the ego that it makes him crash out.
After everything,
this fodder beat me.
After everything they've done with the Intercontinental title, from Jey Uso to Gunther to Sami Zayn to Braun fucking Breaker, I don't think they should put the title on Dominic Mysterio.
But they put the title on Dom for the sole purpose of Dom is the one transitional champion that is supposed to be, in story, a fluke champion. That's why it makes sense. He is not a workhorse. He is a fluke. He is transitional. It should have been Finn. And Finn knows it, and so does everybody else. And that's why Finn is set over the top.
That's the beauty about this WrestleMania. We have no fucking idea who's going to win these matches.
That's the crazy thing, too. As much as we hated most of these builds, the fun part about it is there's so much guesswork into the winners. And that's kind of what's bringing me back into it. Versus the stories, the fun of not fucking really knowing, because there's so many multi-man matches, it's almost like by making so many multi-man matches, they protected themselves from their own bad booking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because either way, it's going to be shock after surprise after surprise. You know? All the people who could interfere in every match, all the people who could return in the main events, who could win, how they win, what stories it sets up. It's kind of honestly perfect. Even though the booking wasn't, the confusion of who could win and not being able to really pick definitive winners does make it better.
We got a good question here, but I want to save it for the end of the show after we're done with the review, if we have enough time. Thank you, Alexis, for your question. All right, let's move on here. We got the WWE Women's Tag Team Title match. Oh, BT Knight, you're gonna have to go first on this one, bud, because Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are gonna be facing Lyra Valkyrie versus Bayley. BT Knight, remember, we're on TikTok.
Keep your mind straight, man.
TikTok language, BT.
Take it from our truth. Keep it PG.
Okay. Ugh.
Fuck you, Liv. Okay.
You wish.
Really?
You said.
Really?
All right, go ahead. My bad.
Really?
Tell him when he's telling lies.
All right, I'm starting over the timer now.
All right. Liv and Raquel should win. Bailey and Lyra being there, I don't know why they couldn't make it a singles match between those two for the women's IC title. But yet, there's no Chelsea Green on the card. But staying on topic, Liv and Raquel, as much as I fucking hate both of them, they're booking that I actually hate. And the characters. They need to win. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, cool. Thanks for not popping off there.
I'm so proud of you, BT. That was so big of you.
That was very mature of you, Mr. I keep calling you Mr. Blood. BT Knight, thank you for taking the high road there. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Toxic.
I gotta say, this is the match I'm least excited for. I don't know why. I'm not excited for it. Just not. I have Bailey and Lyra winning this. I feel like it would be fun to see Lyra as a double champ. I don't know why, but it's just weird when there's a champion against a champion. It's just like you want to see that, but you don't know if it's going to be shit. It's not going to be shit. What is it going to be? You don't know. So I have Bailey and Lyra winning this. Blood, I see you with that smart ass look. You can go. I'm kidding. No. TikTok language.
Apparently, Toxic is Middle Eastern now. All right, Mr. Blood, go ahead.
Listen, Toxic. Listen, buddy. Listen, friend.
Okay, now we're really gonna get banned.
What? Middle Eastern? Look, the point is, Toxic. You chose Bailey and fucking Lyra because you think it'd be exciting to see her as a double champ. Homie, they don't know how to book her right with the title she has.
It's an opinion. It's prediction. If you don't
And
like it, don't say anything about
Hold
it.
on, Toxic. Let him be.
Toxic,
Let him be.
I love you, but let's be real. And it's okay, and I respect your opinion, but let's look at the facts. They don't know how to book her with the title she's holding. What are you going to do when you get her
Toxic,
one?
I got your back, Toxic. I got your back.
You know
I'm about
what I mean?
to cook this fool.
It's as fun as it would be to see the two better wrestlers hold the titles, because Lyra and Bailey are better wrestlers. Lyra is criminally underdeveloped, and Bailey is criminally underappreciated. And then you have fucking Liv, who they spent the last year building. And then Raquel, who they spent the last 6 months or so building, back up. And they just won the titles. If we want any of these titles to be important, we cannot keep hot potatoing them onto everybody else. We can't just keep throwing them onto people. You know, and look, here's the thing. Liv and Raquel need to hold those and win, so the Judgment Day can get back to their story of, well, all the titles were with us and we're strong. They need to hold them so when Dom wins the IC, they can all be all celebratory on Monday and Finn's the sourpuss in the back. Them retaining helps feed the story of his jealousy. He thinks he's the best member of the Judgment Day, even though he won't say it. But how come he's the only one without a title? Because we all know Carlito's just the bag holder. He's the water boy. But out of all the real serious competitors in the Judgment Day, how is the one guy who's the former world champion not a champion? But the two girls still have
10
the tag
seconds.
title, and Dom still has the IC. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be Liv and Raquel for the sheer purpose of continuing the Judgment Day story.
I'm gonna go with what Toxic was saying. Make Lyra double
Snug,
champion.
You forgetting about somebody?
Nope. I'm going first. You can go last. Because I'm gonna say Liv and Raquel have to lose because it's gonna add to the story, the dissension that they're trying to build between Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. If Liv Morgan and Raquel lose, then Finn Balor's going to come back and be like, what the fuck? What happened to you guys? Or whatever fucking accent Mr. Blood likes to do for Finn Balor. Well, you guys, what happened to if you listen to Finn,
Irish.
then you win? Yeah, pretty soon someone's going to break out in like an Asian accent one of these days. I don't know. But if Raquel and Liv lose, then that adds more fuel to the fire when it comes to the Judgment Day breaking up. And you get a double champion out of Lyra Valkyrie, who was really fucking good, by the way. There's a reason why she's Intercontinental Champion. Now, that the fact that she's not being booked properly, that's no fault of hers, but that girl can go. She's really good. So I'm going to go with Lyra and Bayley, and also Bayley deserves it. Come on, man. It's Bayley. Give her another title run. So I'm going to go with them to win it. All right, Tommy.
All you're doing is just proving that they're trying to make a copy of Becky. Lyra 2 belts? Come on.
Ah, no. Lyra's way more entertaining than Becky ever will.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I am going to make this 3-2. I'm going with Toxic and with Snug here.
What?
Even the live agrees with me.
We were doing so good.
Okay,
Let
let's
me be
freak you
out.
with an opinion.
We were doing so good.
Because the live agrees with me.
No, it doesn't. Hold on.
No.
Start
shut
over.
up.
Start over.
So, I am going here with Lyra and Bayley. I love the two of them, and I get it. I get both of you on why you say, why are we put the tag titles on her when she can't even do anything with the Intercontinental? Are you going to say the same thing when it comes to the United States? Because Triple H in general doesn't know what to do with either of those titles. I'm just saying. And I'm going to impersonate Toxic with what I heard. I am on this side of Toxic here. With the Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
We're still doing accents? What the fuck is going on here?
I heard Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I didn't hear Middle Eastern.
Is
Okay.
Toxic having a stroke?
We're going to get canceled, you guys. Shout out to Crash and Burn, who's in the comments, says that you guys are all wrong. Blood will win the IC title. I guess so. I don't know. Do you know another Blood? Because I don't.
What's his name?
Crash and Burn.
Crash and Burn? Oh, that's my boy. You damn right.
All right. Enough of that. Go ahead, Tommy. Finish your thought.
Get yourself in there, Continental.
Thanks, nephew.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm sticking here as my final prediction with Lyra Valkyria, not Valkyrie, Valkyria, and Bayley.
All right. Tommy's got Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley. Cool. All right. Let's go on to the Sin City street fight between Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go first on this one, fellas. I'm going to go Damian Priest because it's a street fight. It's not a clean one-on-one singles match. If it was, I would say Drew McIntyre. But because there's no disqualification, Damian Priest is going to find a way to screw Drew McIntyre, setting off Drew McIntyre off the edge, making him go crazy, and we get more matches out of this. So I'm going to go Damian Priest, and I'm going to go back to Tommy. You go first.
I am also going Damian Priest. This is Damian's specialty. This match is like CM Punk in the strap match. The fact that he hasn't lost a single one of those. So I'm absolutely with you here, Snug, with Damian Priest beating Drew McIntyre. And hopefully he can get that necklace back faster than CM Punk did with the damn bracelet.
Crash and Burns says 4 letters, 1 word. Yeah, I'm not doing that. All right, go ahead, Mr. Blood.
It's okay, Crash and Burn.
No,
no, 4 letters,
mute,
1
no.
word. Yeet. So I'm going the opposite way. As much as I love Damian, and I'm so proud of him for the last year, the year he's had. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that, like, if you remember when he came on as like the Archer, and he was very forgettable in the mid card. No one remembered it, and just he's really coming to his own. I am so impressed with Damian Priest. I hate that people try to call him the Temu Undertaker. Fuck that, man. He's his own guy. He's his own guy with his own style. Undertaker is goth. He's punk rock. There's a difference. But I gotta give it to Drew. And the reason I gotta give it to Drew is because Drew last year, you know, he was a team player. He won the title, and then he agreed to lose it in 5 minutes, right? He lost the feud to CM Punk, even though he spent a year building it by himself. And then he gets kicked out of the Royal Rumble by Damian. His spot's interrupted by LA Knight. He has that furious outburst that was reported backstage later that same evening, where he was upset about his direction for Mania. He was upset about the spot being messed up. I feel like you got to give to Drew for a couple different reasons. One, he just signed a new contract with you last year when he wasn't even sure if he was going to or not. He's been a team player for over a year, and he needs a win. He wins on Monday Night Raw, but he needs a big fucking win, right? He wins on SmackDown, he wins Raw. He needs a Mania win that isn't taken away from him and negated in 5 fucking minutes and 35 seconds, right? As much as I love Damian, Drew lost the strap match. He lost the fucking Hell in a Cell match. He lost the Royal Rumble. He's got to have something given to him, right? And I think this is it. So I got to go with Drew. And then I think, like Snug said, I agree. I think it continues maybe to Backlash or something. And then we get another match. Maybe this is a three match feud. Maybe we get a rubber match after that. Maybe at Money in the Bank or something. But I agree with you. This can't be the end of this feud because Damian's still got to get that necklace back. But Drew's going over.
And Toxic.
I'm going Damian. I just hate Drew McIntyre. Hate him. He is the biggest hypocrite on the entire WWE roster. Well, actually, besides Seth Rollins, but that's besides my point. Besides my point, I don't like Drew. Don't like the way that he's gone, and I've hated him ever since. I can't even remember. I just don't like Drew. And plus, street fights are Damian's specialty. He knows how to work street fights because, as stated throughout the 3 feuds that Gunther and Damian has, that Damian started on the street. That's where he started all of it. That's where he started all of it, on the street. No disrespect. He's come a long way. So if anyone knows how to work a street fight, it is the person that is going to make Drew McIntyre rise and pray.
All right. Let's go AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm going to go first again because, I mean...
You forgot B.
Oh, my bad, BT. I thought...
Motherfucker! I have been wanting to talk about this for a while. What the fuck?
Go ahead.
Jesus. Most underrated feud going into Mania. I've seen a lot of people hate on this feud. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it because they've had a decent story and a decent build going into it. Like, I'm pretty excited for this match. But I got to give this win to Drew. I got to give it to Drew. Because people always talk about, like, Snug was talking about, I think it was either Snug or Tommy. They were talking about, like, there'll be more story development going into it after Damian wins. When does Drew get the payoff if that happens? Because he's, like Mr. Blood said, he's been a team player for ages, ever since CM Punk came back and he lost the feud to CM Punk, which I personally feel like he should have won. But they were pushing CM Punk to be the next big fucking thing in WWE. Like, he's always been the biggest thing in WWE, but that was the theory of why he got the win over him. But I want Drew McIntyre to win so that they can pay him off well. So those are my thoughts.
All right, now I think we all are ready to move on to the next match. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. AJ Styles, I got AJ Styles. Let's go back to you, BT.
Yeah, I want Logan Paul to win because of the segments and the clips that we've been seeing from Karrion Kross. Because I feel like they can do something with that. And especially with what Karrion Kross has been pushing with his narrative. If AJ Styles loses and Logan Paul wins, Karrion Kross is going to go into a fit. And with the way that they had repackaged him on, I think it was it was this past Monday Night Raw that he fought AJ Styles, wasn't it? The way that he is being presented, I feel like they can do something with that. So I'm very excited to see what they could do, but I want Logan Paul to win that match for that to happen.
Toxic.
Do you really want a person who has been a literal meme to win over, in my opinion, a wrestling legend? AJ Styles, he's known everywhere in TNA and WWE. Logan, he's only known on the internet. Known for making Prime. That's somewhat shit. It's just, no. Logan does not need to win this match. Yes, he's becoming more and more amazing in the ring. Yes, I will give him that. He has all the talent in the world. But he just doesn't know how to execute it properly, how to do something in the ring without being the cocky son of a bitch that he is. Which, yes, I get it. He's a heel. He's supposed to do that. But with him, I feel like he's just doing it because that's how he knows. That's how he was even before in wrestling.
Blood.
This is my least. I don't give a shit about this match. This is the one match in the card that as much as I hate the women's triple threat, as much as I don't care about Rey Mysterio versus Americano, I genuinely do not give a flying piss about. This is the match I'm going to get up, go take a piss, maybe take the dog out to the bathroom, probably going to, refresh my beverages, make sure my phone's not overheating when I'm live streaming the whole thing. But this is the one match that I just do not care about at all. Logan Paul, as talented as he is in the ring, a lot of that comes down to the reported amounts of weeks and weeks of rehearsal he is given to go through to get his matches down correctly that a lot of other people are not afforded. And it's been touched on that they rehearse his shit for weeks before his matches. So as good as he is in the ring, it's only because he's constantly given time and help over and over and over again. If he said that I got signed on Monday Night Raw, I'm full-time contract. Really? You've wrestled once now, maybe twice on Monday Night Raw since the Raw on Netflix? Once? Great. So you're full-time and you've wrestled, but you get a schedule like Roman Reigns, who's been there for 14 freaking years and paid his dues. Look, Logan Paul is that bully you had in school that actually didn't peak in high school and did get to be successful, even though he shouldn't have been. Because in real life, he is a cocky son of a bitch who is an asshole, right? That's a stated fact. He is exactly what you think he is. So with that being said, the idea of him getting to go over on AJ pisses me off to no avail. So even though I think he's going to win,
10 seconds.
I feel like AJ deserves it just because it's one, fucking AJ Styles, but two, AJ just lost the last feud he was in against goddamn Cody. But I think it's going to be Logan. I think it's going to be Logan because they're going to tell a story with AJ and carry it. And they're probably going to use AJ to help carry and get over.
And Tommy.
I'm with it. I'm with Logan. The problem here is Logan's side is so unpredictable. You don't know who this man is going to have in the front row. You don't know if the random human-sized prime bottle is going to show up and have somebody like Kai Cenat inside of it. You don't know. And with Logan, every match that he's in is an absolute banger. Every single time. You cannot name a single match that Logan has been a part of that hasn't gone viral in some sort of way or is just an absolute banger in general. You just can't. So I'm going with Logan here. Even though, as Blood said, his schedule is more like Roman Reigns, who has paid his due time after time. He finished his sentence but committed no crime. Yes, I just quoted Queen there. At this point, it has to be Logan. It just has to be. As much as I hate the thought of Logan going over the legendary AJ Styles, it's just
10 seconds. All right, and before we get out of here, guys, those are all the matches that we have so far, but there's still one more Friday Night SmackDown left, and it has yet to be announced who Randy Orton is going to face, because there's no way Randy Orton is not going to be at WrestleMania. Let's be honest, guys. Who do you guys think, last question of the night of this WrestleMania prediction episode, who do you guys think Randy Orton is going to face at WrestleMania? Who wants to go first? Blood.
Large part of me still thinks that Kevin Owens' injury is a work, and I think that one of the major angles of Friday's go-home show is I think Kevin's going to attack Randy, and it's going to get made into an official match. Because, look, how many wrestlers have worked hurt with bad necks? We said this before. Seth worked on a fully destroyed and obliterated knee for 3 months, and then still did 2 back-to-back matches, closing, and then the first opener match last year at Mania with a blown ACL, MCL, meniscus. He still fucking wrestled, okay? Triple H blew his fucking quad to pieces and still finished a match. You mean to tell me that Kevin Owens, the guy who is the human crash test dummy, who will throw himself off of ladders through piles and stacks of chairs, who will drop himself headfirst backwards on a ladder, who will fly off the Tron through a table. You're telling me that guy is going to let my neck hurts stop him from doing the Mania match against Randy and finishing his story with Randy? Even if he was hurt, you think he's going to pass up Mania? He could just go and get the surgery the week after like Cody did when he freaking ripped his pec to pieces. Speaking of, Cody ripped his pec off the bone and wrestled a 30-minute Hell in a Cell match and let Seth attack the injury with kendo sticks. You think Kevin can't just surprise Randy and get surgery the next freaking week? Come on. I think it's Kevin.
All right. Toxic.
I got 2. One being Carmelo Hayes, because it would be nice to see him go over at a WrestleMania. Or 2, and I know Blood's already gonna have. Solo Sikoa. Put that one down.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I've got 2. One, if that injury is fake, I'm going Kevin here. Because as Blood said, he's truly right. There's no possible way that Kevin Owens, of all people, misses out on Mania and just says no to it. There's no possible way. If he's comparing himself to Cody like he has in the past, who before a Hell in a Cell match tore the pec right off the bone, came to my town for a house show right after, literally next day of Jacob Fatu breaking his ribs, like breaking Cody's ribs, he still came to my town and wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura. It's like, if it's fake, it's going to end up being Kevin. If it's not, hey, Nick, you might want to put back on those tights. I want Nick Aldis.
That's what's up. All right, BT, who you think it's going to be?
I don't want to be the heel in this situation, but I think Mr. Blood's talking a lot of bullshit. I think Kevin is legitimately hurt, and he needs a surgery because, remember, it's a neck problem. Not a lot of people we see finish the matches with broken necks, or at least from what I've seen, finish matches with broken necks. Unless it's somebody immortal other than Edge who has managed to finish a match with a broken neck. Can somebody correct me on that?
Kurt Angle won a gold medal with a broken neck.
Not the same, Blood.
But that's not a wrestling match.
Okay,
that's not a wrestling.
You're right. It hurts more. But on top of that, at the same time, think about it this way. Let me put it to you this way. Edge didn't just win the World Heavyweight title with an injured neck that he could have been paralyzed with when he beat Alberto Del Rio when he had to retire. He had been wrestling with that neck injury for months, losing feeling in his fingers and arms for months, and still wrestling pay-per-views and weekly TV.
10 seconds.
Still went all the way to Mania.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want Solo Sikoa to be the one to get his shine against Randy.
Right on. Yeah, Kevin Owens is definitely injured. As much as Mr. Blood wants to believe that this is all a swerve, bro, it's not. Kevin Owens, there's no way Kevin Owens is going to wrestle with a broken neck or whatever issues he's having. Not in 2025, sorry, bud. But, yeah, I would like to see... I would like to see Solo get a match with Randy Orton, but then I wouldn't because there's no way Solo Sikoa is going to beat Randy Orton. Whoever it's going to be, they're just going to feed him to Randy Orton. Randy Orton is so over right now. He's on a hot streak. Whoever it is, he's going to win. I don't think it's going to be Aleister Black. I don't think you bring back Aleister Black at a WrestleMania, of all places. Or maybe they do. No, because then you also don't want to bring Aleister Black and then beat him right away to Randy Orton, so that wouldn't work either.
I have an idea.
Nope, you're done. So, fuck. I'm going to say Solo Sikoa. And because I'm feeling nice, Tommy, go ahead. I'll give you another minute before we get out of here.
You want to talk about people that broke their necks? How about the one of many men that the New Day brought up? There have been rumors, but what if he doesn't come back during the Cena and Cody match? What if Stone Cold comes back to wrestle Randy Orton?
Yeah, right. Good luck with that one. All right, you guys, that was the WrestleMania predictions for Night 1 and Night 2 with the Snug Wrestling Podcast. I am Edgar. I'm the host. Thank you to Mr. Blood and Tommy and BT Knight and Toxic, my lovely crew. And we will see you guys soon. Happy WrestleMania weekend. I won't be here for Friday night SmackDown because I'll be in Vegas. But until Next time, you guys, we will be doing the WrestleMania review and Monday Night review or whatever the hell they got going on whenever I decide to come back from Vegas. But we will see you guys very, very soon. Have a good night, everyone.
4 letters.